Greetings everybody, my name is Tommy the Game Master and welcome to my channel. I'm doing another reference guide to Megadimensional Neptunia V2, and this one is just towards the jokes that couldn't be established in a character and some of the other random references that they dropped. Here's just a few that I've spotted, so let's go through them real quick and talk about them. Let's start with some of the Gundam reference that this game throws out, and I do believe there's more than I put in here. There are some lines like a character said something like the goddess of victory is on my side, but since I couldn't place them within a Gundam series or characters, I had to say no. If there are any lines you know of, feel free to put them down in the comments section below. Anyways, here are a few Gundam references that I did spot. A line that said both Uzume and Neptune say is, "I may run and hide, but I will never tell a lie. That's me in a nutshell." This is from Gundam Wing and is said by Duo when he introduces himself to Trowa. This fits Uzume's character perfectly, as she hides her pain behind a lot of joking and a too cool for school attitude, which is what Duo also did, so I enjoy that connection. When Bisha and Neptune become friends and Astor is criticizing them for goofing off, something that Neptune does quite often. This time her defense is they're talking about actually finishing building a robot model. This is a reference to the Gundam toy model kits that Bandai makes. Bisha's EXE move calls for a Gundam to attack. Her transformation is modeled after a few mobile suits with the eyes on them. And one of the things that this character right here says it, and I'm not even going to pronounce his name, is that his father never hit him after Bisha and Blonde capture him. This is a line that Amuro Ray says to Bright after Bright decks him for being reckless in an episode of the original Gundam. Even more ironic is in the English dub. I'm pretty sure that the guy who voiced Char in Gundam Unicorn is voicing the character, so a lot of irony.
You hit me! Even my own father never hit me. Oh.
In a scene, Bisha talks about how the enemy could send a colony towards Earth as a way to attack. In the opening scenes of the original Gundam anime, we do see a space colony drop on Earth, destroying Australia, so that's a reference to it. Ironically, Sisha steps in saying that won't happen. The story in Mega Man X5 has X and Zero fighting to prevent a space colony from hitting the Earth. As far as new areas, I only found one new reference that was Daytona Cave, which is similar to an arcade racing game Sega made. When talking about if Neptune and Nepgear could find the power to activate their transformations in Zero Dimension, Uzume starts to go on about them transforming together like Sentai Warriors. Sentai Warriors is the Japanese name for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So how does an amnesiac stuck in a post-apocalyptic wasteland know about a children's TV show? Well, Neptunia operates on a Mystery Theater 3000 logic, so you're just going to have to tell yourself it's a game, because you really should just relax if you're worried about that. When talking about why Esha needs to sacrifice 1 million Rampigs to get a new body, she says she needs to meet the law of equivalent exchange. This is a reference to Full Metal Alchemist, which Square Enix not only made their games for the PS2, but also published the original manga. The fact that Esha calls her military unit Soldier is another reference to Final Fantasy VII. Amazu.net is obviously a play on Amazon. When talking about the Demon Lord, Esha sends them to find Vert, and Nepgear talk about what it might look like, saying it's probably a big purple monster. This is a reference to how a lot of the Dragon Quest series monsters have weird colors, especially their villains. When talking about horse birds and what they should be called, Esha starts to say that they should be called chocobos, before being interrupted by Nepgear and Vert to avoid copyright problems, hence why they scream and that's the joke. One of the descriptions for a scene in Vert's chapter is death should not have taken thee, Vert. This is a Dragon Quest reference. Whenever you die in the original Dragon Quest game, You got revived by the king, and he told you that. A lot of the scouts that you get are based off different games. Mario is obviously related to, well, Super Mario. Like Kirito here is obviously a reference to the Sword Art Online character, and there are several others. One of the things you can unlock if you get your PR level to 5 is a show where the characters pressure you into buying a mysterious item box, which if you don't know is good or not. This is obviously a reference to how loot boxes were going to get popular among developers and how annoying and even bad they are to the consumers. Again, good job Idea Factory for referencing this a year before the crap actually hit the fan. When his store falls ill, Neptune must go look for a patch that will restore her. She says she needs the Sanshiro Soul Patch. This is a reference to Segata Sanshiro, who was a Sega ad mascot for the Saturn. Basically, the ads went around that Segata would beat the crap out of you if you didn't buy a Sega game console. While looking for said patch, Neptune finds a bunch of old games. These are referenced to Golgo 13, Wonder Boy, and Lode Runner. One of the lines describing a quest is someone out looking for an Amiibo figure. This is obviously a reference to Nintendo's Amiibo figurines. When talking about the crystals Gold Third uses to power up, they admit that Escha is knowledgeable about crystals. This is a reference to the crystals oftentimes found in Final Fantasy games. Also, the golden power that the Gold Third uses might be a reference to the Triforce in the Legend of Zelda series. One of Escha's spells confuses the opponents by hitting them with too much cryptic language. This might be conjecture on my part, but I do believe that might be a slam at Final Fantasy XIII for the over-the-top, confusing lore and language that game often uses. One of the conversations Neptune talks about with the shop mouse is about retro games being more expensive because they are collectible. There's no jokes or references here, but everything they talk about has a lot of basis in fact. In the last station, Gold Tower, one of the enemies you fight is called M-Gear, a reference to Metal Gear. Finally, the game over screenshots have several homages towards several classic JRPG games, including Tales of Symphonia, Pokemon, and Dragon Quest, among others. They got a lot of laugh out of me as I kind of screamed for bloody murder as I got a game over screen and got sent back to the save. At least they're funny, and I enjoyed these references. Anyways, that's the end of this video. If you have any extra references that you've seen in Hyperdimensional Neptunia, feel free to leave a comment down below and tell me about it. I'd love to hear from you.